and welcome to this free mandolin lesson aimed at sort of intermediate / advanced players. That was Adam Steffey's intro / solo to Richmond on the James, which is on the new Alisson Krauss album, which I have been very much enjoying recently. And I want to do a lesson on how to do a bluegrass solo in B minor. And I want to do it, rather than do theory first, I want to do it by working out someone else's solo and looking at where they've come from to get their solo. Everything we talk about in this lesson is included in a free PDF, so if you're just here for the Adam Steffey tab and don't want the theory, then just download that PDF and you're away. Sorry to interrupt, just before we go any further, we are so close to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a big milestone for me, just building this channel organically. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe if you already haven't. Thank you very much. I think the first thing we should do is just learn the solo. So we'll break it down into a few different phrases and then have a play of it, and then I'll discuss the theory, what's going on, what you can take away from it, and where you can apply it after that. So we're very much in B minor. So it's a little kick-off phrase. So that's sort of our opening phrase. If I just do that again, I'll zoom in on the fingers. So 3, 4, 1. So watch that little hammer-on pull-off. Well, there's no pull-off actually. So your right hand is essentially just picking 2 downs on 4s. And your left hand is adding in the 5. There's a few ways you could do that. Some people might do a hammer and pull off, but I can definitely hear 2 pick strokes from Adam Steffey, so I'm copying him exactly. And then our second phrase, little phrase to get us, and then we do a position shift. So if I just stop there, that phrase is most important to get the pick strokes right. So down, down, up, up. So your first slide's on a down, your second slide's on an up stroke. Down, down, up, up. And then I think he stays there as well. So, and only now does he position shift back. So I'll just play that phrase as sort of the next 7 or 8 bars from the start of the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to normal. Same phrase again. Really cool phrase. And then we get in there, we go like this. I just pause there a second. So just nothing massively difficult, just a nice little B minor phrase. So let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just our final phrase, little blues grace note. Really nice little bluegrass blues phrase. And then from here I've had to do a bit of guesswork because the singing takes over and I'm not entirely sure what he does, but I've sort of interpreted he's doing like a little ending phrase to get to this low B. So I just made sure we've landed on B. So let's try the whole thing. I'll slow it down a little bit and I'll put a guitar so we can all have a go at Adam Steffey, Richmond on the James intro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we can do a bit of an analysis on that solo and where he has come from. The first thing we need to know is what key we're in, and I can almost hear you answer straight back at me, we're in B minor. And my answer to that would be, well, which B minor are we in? Are we in B natural minor? Are we in B harmonic minor? Are we in B Dorian? There's a few different minors it could be, and the way I always work it out is through the chords. So this song has 4 chords. The intro only has 2, it's B minor and A, but when the rest of the song kicks off, it also has an F sharp minor and an E. So if we look at the arpeggios of those 4 chords, we have B, D and F sharp for B minor. We have A, C sharp and E for A. We have F sharp, A and C sharp for F sharp minor, and we have E, G sharp and B for E. And that actually gives us 7 notes, which is how many notes you need to make a scale. And if I were to put those in order, ascending order starting on B, just the notes that turn up in the chords, we end up with B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp and A. Then obviously B again. Now so that has 3 sharps, which is the same as A major, which to me is a big sign that we are using the notes of an A scale, but starting and ending on B, which is also known as the Dorian mode. So we're in B Dorian. And the big difference between Dorian mode and natural minor, so Dorian minor or natural minor, is what is the 6th step of the scale. If the 6th step is flat, it's normally the natural minor. And then if the 6th step is sharpened, it's Dorian mode. When we look at Adam Steffey's solo, he is pretty rigidly sticking to the Dorian mode, save a couple of blues notes thrown in, but I think he's even more focused than that. When you look at that, is actually just the notes of, it's B pentatonic minor. I think what this solo is a great example of how great musicians can make a great solo out of very few notes. You don't need, every single note on the fretboard. We don't need avant-garde jazz notes. We just need a really solid base of note theory, and we can create a great solo. So if you were just to take a moment and play through again. It's that C sharp. The C sharp is the first note that's not in pentatonic minor that makes us definitely realise we're in Dorian mode. So he's sort of improvising 95% in pentatonic minor, but then using notes of the mode just to create a little bit more context as to where we are set. If we're approaching this as a bluegrass soloist, pentatonic minor is a really good place to start. I would almost encourage you to try another solo for this just in pentatonic minor, and you'll see how nice a solo you can get in a bluegrass situation. The other step I always like to do in this situation when I'm looking at someone else's solo is what makes it an Adam Steffey solo. If this was Sam Bush, we would definitely have some octave triplets somewhere. If it was Chris Thile, we'd definitely sort of slide around the neck a little bit more. So every mandolin player has their own little specialties that make them what they are. Adam Steffey is very good at filling the gaps with lots of notes. Lots of eighth notes, lots of quavers going. If you look at the start of the second line, that's a very Adam Steffey phrase. So instead of just, da 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 da, he's da 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 da. The other final element, not specific to Adam Steffey, but if we're thinking this in a bluegrass context, it's those blues notes that are quite important as well. Here he's got the sharp 4, and when you're playing the pentatonic minor, the blues pentatonic minor is with that sharp 4, that E sharp or F natural. So if you want to take it into much more of a bluegrass setting, now we've analysed Adam Steffey's solo, I would encourage you to rewind and have another play through. Thinking of those main elements. So we're in B Dorian, but we're mainly improvising off the pentatonic minor with that sharp 4 blues note and the occasional, when needed, Dorian mode melody notes. It's Adam Steffey, so he's very busy. Very busy in his right hand. And he's also not wandered massively far from the melody. We can still kind of hear that. We can very much hear the melody coming through as well. So that's why it's a great idea to transcribe other people's solos. It gives you an insight into how they're thinking and how it can influence your thinking on solos. So if we're improvising in any bluegrass minor key, we now know the rules that Adam Steffey is stuck to create his really cool sounding solo, and you can take those rules and make it your own. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Please hit like and subscribe while you're here. We do these free lessons every month. Head over to mandomike.com for all the other free lessons, and we'll see you next month.